Each and every day is a new day, a new beginning, an opportunity to realize the great. Your life is not bound by your daily thoughts and activities. They are the flow of your attention and awareness into the body and the physical world, into the relationships and the activities which you have engaged in this life. But beyond those engagements lies the true essence of your being, immortal, effulgent, beyond the scope of time and space and mundane activities. These mundane activities of daily life lie within the scope of the infinite, though the infinite does not lie within the scope of your daily activities. They lie within the mind of the cosmic being. All that you are, all that you experience as your own self, is but a dream, a thought in the mind of the cosmos, of the one eternal essence. Your existence has no separate reality, has no separate formation. You are part of the integral whole of life. You are part of the cosmic essence. There is no separate self. That which you call you, from which springs your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, your activities through the bodily functions, what you see, what you hear, what you process in your mind, think about, respond to, hold on to, and identify with. These are actions taken by the conscious essence of being. You may think, I am an individual, and these are my actions, and the results of these actions belong to me. I am a success, I am a failure. You have all of these identities, but they are based on one fundamental assumption, which is faulty. And that assumption is that you have a separate self that is not part of the universal whole, that there is a self, an individual self, that is separate from all else, that is associated with identity with the body, mind, existence. The dream here, the mistake, the misunderstanding, the sin is to think that you are separate from the cosmos, from the one infinite divinity, that God self is not the very self of yourself. The reality of yourself is that you are part of this cosmic existence, part of the God self that has dreamed your existence. So, who is there behind all of your experience? Who is witnessing all of your experience? What naturally comes to mind is I am witnessing, isn't it? When you think, who is witnessing my experience? It is I am witnessing. I am the witness of my experience. I am the knower of my experience. But who is this I? This is where the fundamental error in thinking comes, to assume that this I is autonomous. But when, through deep self-discovery, you move your consciousness away from the experiences and into the experiencer, into the I, then you realize, what is this I? There is nothing to define it. It is part of the cosmic whole. There is behind the I the bliss of divine being, the essence of life. So the assumption is, I am an individual and I do actions. I have thoughts. I have problems, I have successes. And all of these identities begin to arise. But they're based in this I, this separate I, this separate self. And when you discover that the God self, the one true divine essence of being, the consciousness that permeates all things, is the essence of this I, that your sense of separate self is a misunderstanding. It is a misconception, a false belief. When you let go of this identity, what remains? There is a kind of freedom, an emptiness inside. There is no separate self. There is no you. That I is by nature part of the cosmic self. When you let go of this misunderstanding, what remains? The divine self permeating everything that is. Where you have thought, I exist, God exists, undivided, with the qualities of unconditional love, compassion, deep peace. And underneath those qualities, there is only the stillness of being. The separate self is the dream of the mind, a kind of organizing system to structure experience and categorize it. But the structure is not the self. The self is the infinite consciousness, aware being, divine love, that which knows everything, the true knower, Purushottama, the true knower of all that is, Parama Purusha, the supreme consciousness. That is the self of yourself. The individual self is an idea, a belief, a misunderstanding. Where you exist, God exists. Divinity exists. There is no separate self. All the experiences, the successes, the failures, the enjoyments, and the hard times, the fears, the sorrows, they all live within the dream of the cosmos. The yogis of ancient times said that the path to freedom from suffering lies in this disidentification from ego, from separate self. When you begin to awaken from the dream of a separate self and feel the unitary wholeness, then that bondage falls away. And it is in that bondage, that identity with separate self, that suffering comes. Because when you are small and alone, you have fear and you have suffering. The need to acquire in order to survive, to be safe, and the need to avoid anything which inhibits your safety and well-being. But when the dream of separate self is gone, what is there to acquire and what is there to fear? For love divine is the nature of all that is. And everywhere you look, only divinity abides. In all that you see, all that you feel, and all that you are, the one eternal self abides. Knowing this is the secret to success in human life. Feelings, thoughts go here and there. If you rest in those alone, you will ever be on the whims of life, rising and falling and all over. To find equanimity, peace, and infinite love is to go beyond the momentary rises and falls of the mind and the emotions, and to know that you rest in eternal being, and that omnipresent self is all around, in all that you see, think, feel, in the pain and in the pleasure. The one eternal self plays out the dance of creation, but all rests in eternal being, letting go of the construct of the separate self. There is no personalized being. There is only the cosmic one. There is only Baba, Ma, the divine one, and the infinite shower of love and grace from which all creation arises. For a moment, imagine there is no separate you. That was just an idea. Without a separate you, only divine being exists. Thoughts are there, feelings are there, life experiences are there, but they all simply abide in being, for there is no one home to claim them. When the infinite self is truly seen and the small identity melts back into that. It is the grace of Brahma, of the infinite one, which peels back the ignorance from the eyes and opens the true vision of reality. Through your Brahma sadhana, you awaken your awareness of this divine presence, and you allow yourself to let go, to surrender. Move out of ignorance and fear and open to your true nature, for only God exists. Only the infinite one abides in all that is. All right?